Welcome to another episode of GitHub Actions. GitHub Actions is an event-driven automation framework available on the GitHub platform. Actions are defined as YAML-based workflow files within the repository. A major concern for many enterprises is protecting certain workflow files, such as the production deployment file or the security check file. In today's episode, we will explore how to protect workflow files using Ruleset. I'm moving to my repository. Here, I'm the administrator or the owner of this repository, where we have a bunch of workflows defined under .github workflows. All these files are workflow files. I'm going ahead and modifying the production deployment file. Here, you can do modifications if you have the right permission or contributor access to your repository. Most of the time, main will be protected. In this case, main is not protected, so I can commit the changes directly to main. Even though the main is protected, using the branch protection rules, developers can create a new branch and modify the workflow files. So, as an organization administrator, you can prevent this unexpected modification. For that, go to your organization settings. Under repository, you have the rule sets. I'm going to define a push rule set for protecting my workflow files. So I just named it as workflow file protection, and I need to enforce this rule set, so made it as active. No bypass list right now, and my target is a selected repository. Sometimes this kind of protection is required for all repositories or a repositories with a certain file pattern, maybe API repositories or ML repositories. You can specify a pattern for identifying the target repositories. Right now I am going to select the repository. Here there is only one repository, so I need this repository to be protected. There are multiple rules can be applied in terms of if all the workflow files needs to be protected, I can go for restrict file extension, saying that YAML files, it's maybe the workflow file or other YAML files in your repository, all files will be protected, or file size or file path length. These things can be enforced. Right now I am going for the file path, specifying my workflow files. So let me define it as GitHub/workflows, that is the path. Under that I need to protect any workflow file starting with the word prod. So all my production workflows are labeled as prod. So I need to protect only these workflow files. The other files, let the developers modify it. So the rule set creation is completed. Going back to our repository and trying to modify our production workflow with some small editing here. Commit the changes to the main itself. As you can observe that it will not allow me to commit any changes on this workflow because it's protected by the rule set. At the same time, if I go to another workflow and try to edit this one, as our protection rule is not protected this workflow, I will be able to commit the changes here. Saying that, as an organization, obviously you need someone to modify this file. That names can be listed under bypass list. It may be the org admins or a specific role you define who can bypass this one. Right now I have added organization administrator and saved the settings. Going back to my workflow, as an organization administrator, now I will be able to modify this file. So you can observe that I am able to modify, but except the organization administrator, if any developer try to modify this file, they will not be able to modify because the file is protected by the organization level rule set. This is not only applicable for the workflow files, any files, maybe your secret files or code owners files or any files associated in your repository can be protected using Ruleset. We will look into the other rule set later. Explore this protection and control your workflows yourself. Thank you.